Hello and welcome back to the Balling Sister. The sisters are back, and this time around with our weekend preview. So we've already had about 5 games, 4 games, 6 games. There are 4 left, 3 on Sunday and 1 on Monday. But before we get into that, I would like to first say thank you for all the love and support and the suggestions that you guys have been giving us on our channel, and it means a lot to us. For both me and sister, it means a lot. And now, so let's get up and dirty with this week's preview. Now, in this week, we have we've seen a lot of ups and downs. Some teams just saved themselves, and some managers just saved their jobs by the skin of their teeth. Let's be very, very honest. Now, starting off, we had Spurs versus Wolves, an outright end-to-end game. First 45 minutes, no differentiation between both of them. But then 1-0, Kane scored his 250th goal, assisted by a 33-year-old we all thought would not do so well. But under Conte, everybody becomes a Hulk, an incredible Hulk. And that is what Perisic has become under Antonio Conte. And Conte, what should I talk about him? I have to talk about the team, but then, yes, the manager is at a different level. They've beaten Wolves 1-0. Yes, Wolves did have their chances, but then unfortunately, they were not able to capitalize, because whenever Wolves went on to the attack, the formation, the shape, uh, you have to give the credit. You have to give the credit where it's due, and you have to give credit to both the teams, not just Spurs, but to Wolves as well. They played out of their skin yesterday. What a game they had! What a game they had! And they were resilient until and unless that one small error, which was there, a defensive mistake. I'll put it across like that. But what a game they had. Unfortunately, or for Wolves, unfortunately for Spurs, Spurs take the lead, or did take the lead for 1-0, and they take the 3 points. And obviously, 3 points is what matters at the end of the day. How and where and how it came across is something we don't care about in the game of football as much as 3 points matter. Moving on from Spurs and Wolves to we move on to Frank Lampard and Everton versus the new boys, Nottingham Forest. Man, they gave Lampard a run for the men. I didn't expect Nottingham Forest to be that good. Yes, they've had multiple level of signings. They've done a lot. But out from Everton, I really don't know what should I expect. Lampard has been on a very, very treacherous path. And I really don't know where is Everton going. Are they going up? Are they going down? Are they going straight? Are they going left? Are they going right? Because there is no fixed plan. I am not able to see where is Everton heading under Frank Lampard, very honestly. But losing 1-0 to Nottingham Forest till the 84th minute, and then you have a Demari Gray coming across in the dying minutes. And I have to literally say, they snatched the victory out of defeat. If there was no, like I said earlier, as well, defensive lapse and loss of concentration is something which costs a team 3 points, and that is what happened with Nottingham Forest. And there is very less to differentiate between the two in the first 60, 70 minutes, and that is what happened. A few changes here and there, and Nottingham Forest was all over Everton, and then in the last 4 5 minutes, Everton was piling the pressure, and Nottingham Forest cracked, and that is what it is. But for Frank Lampard, Everton, you have to think twice, and the Evertonian fans on the Merseyside, where is Everton going? I really don't know. As a fan, I'm talking about. I really don't know where is Everton going. Does Frank Lampard have that vision? I really don't know. I have no answers for it. In the coming weeks, if you come back to me and ask me, does Frank Lampard have does Frank Lampard have a vision? Um, I may be able to give you an answer, but if you ask me the same question right now, I'll give you a very straightforward no. Frank Lampard doesn't have the vision to take Everton where they were, or they are supposed to, as of now, in the first 3 4 game weeks, and what I have seen him of last year. Moving from Lampard, Everton, and Forest to Palace and Villa. Again, Villa, what signings? What signings? I had top of my list was who is going to be there in my top 7, top 8. Villa was there for me. I was pushing I was pushing West Ham down, and I said it is going to be a fight between West Ham and Villa because the kind of performance they've been giving, Villa would edge Hammers any day. But what I'm looking at now, and what I was thinking, is a huge amount of difference. They've had brilliant signings, but none perform. None are performing. It is a team game, and I believe Villa is slightly in the first game. Too early to call, but then Villa are losing the plot. They are there to win these games. Palace was all over them. Vieira was all over them. Vieira knew the tactics. Vieira hit the ground running. He was on toes. This was a very, and I have to say, this has been the most disappointing first 3 weeks for Aston Villa and the Villa fans. I have to say that. Gerrard isn't able to get the team to perform. That is very, very true. They've had a wonderful signing. I have to agree to it. 3-1. 3-1 hammering. And that too, Zaha, who has scored a brace. No question, Zaha is a brilliant player. Even though there was defensive mistakes from which Villa took the lead, but they were not able to capitalize it. A couple of minutes later, 2 minutes later, you're back level. Now, how do you do it? How do you bloody well do it? No concentration. That is what I am talking about. Villa doesn't have an iota of concentration. And they are not performing the way they should. They have to do a lot of introspection in the coming weeks. The next 3-4 weeks before the break comes in is very, very important for Villa to get their ground running. They are yet to get their ground running, and I really don't know how can this guy get it up? How can Gerrard get them up and about? There's still a long way to go with the new signings getting into place and getting to know how does Gerrard work and how does the team function and slotting them exactly the place where they should be. But I still feel there's a lot of work, at least 8 weeks, 10 weeks. But then you got the World Cup around the corner. How does Villa perform during in the next 4-5 weeks is to be seen to take out a conclusion. But I still feel Villa has a lot of work to be done. Palace, no doubt, they were showing sparks in the earlier game weeks, and yesterday was all out fire. Zaha was at his A game. Brace, brilliant game end to end. But Zaha was my man of the match. He played outstanding. What a game that was. Then moving from Palace and Villa to Fulham, the new boys Fulham playing with the old boys of Pioneer Brentford. 3-2 was the scoreline, and it went haywire, man. It went haywire. All these games this week have been going right down to the wire, and you really don't know. I generally feel like if you ask me to take a punt in the 80th minute that who's going to win, and yesterday's game against Fulham and Brentford exactly the same. It was heading for a outright draw because both the teams were not able to were trying to break the deadlock after 71 minutes when they were tied, but then it was heading for a draw until and unless Mitrovic did what he does best. He won his battle against. He had that cross from Mbabu, and then he's won his battle against Raya. A lot of things happened. Going back to what the game was, a 3-2 scoreline. Ivan Toney again was a pain in the bum for Fulham, and he did that. He's done that regularly. We've been seeing that from the last year, since the time he's been in the Premier League. He's been out there in the faces of the defender, and that is what he does. And he's been very, very good. Mitrovic, the game changer, who I believe there are very few players who can go down at and score in the 80th, 89th, and the 90th minute. I believe if you in the Premier League, there have been a few, but right now I feel Mitrovic is one hungry guy. If he finds the right crosses at the right time, Mitrovic is going to be very, very lethal, and he is seeming so to be. I was putting Fulham down to go down this season, but right now the way I'm seeing Fulham perform, They're here to say somebody else is going down this season. We really don't know who, but Fulham may not be that one team. And I am making that prediction in game week number 3 that Fulham may not go down. This time around, they might not. There was the first goal came in the first minute, very first minute, when Bobby Reed picked up a mistake in the Brentford corner. But then it was Palina. Then it was then it got in the first 45 minutes we had 3 goals, and then Brentford got one back with Norgard, and then uh, Tooney scored in the 71st minute, and Mitrovic snatched the last 2-3 minute winner. End to end game, both teams created chances. Both teams created chances. Both teams were there to out there to win it. And this is what we like football, and this is why we like the English Premier League. And this is what it is. They are there out there to win games. They're out there to take that 3 points. They're out there to take their chances. They're out there to grab. And this is why these teams perform and give out the most sometimes and the most exciting games, I feel. Apart from the top 6, top 7, top 8 who play, these games between Brentford, Fulham, or for that matter, Crystal Palace and who the Villa was there. These games are sparks, man. These games are sparks. Leeds playing Manchester United or City for that matter, it is sparks. And then you've got then you get West Ham playing Chelsea because it's the derby. You get sparks. You got the Tyne derby at certain time of time. There are sparks, and this is why we love the English Premier League. That to the 90th minute, 93rd minute, everybody is wanting to die for the team. And that is what happens. Moving from Fulham and Brentford, we go on to Leicester and Southampton. What a disappointing 3 weeks, have to say. Honestly speaking, it is, I feel the manager should be backed. And right now, Brendan Rodgers is not being backed enough. The team has lost the best goalkeeper. One of the main defenders is on his way out. Fofana is on his way out. He's not played in the past 2 weeks. He's forcing his way to Chelsea. You don't have the bench strength. You've got Maddison who's been doing bulk of it, and he scored yesterday as well. But then 12 minutes later, you're knocked back and you're 1-1. And then again, the defense is all over the place. You're letting Ward-Prowse waltz through the bloody defense. And then at the end of the day, Che Adams scores, and he scored a brace yesterday. What are you trying to put across? That is the only point. The only thing which is there to be proven is that these guys, Leicester has to put their feet. They have to pull their socks up. Brendan Rodgers has to work very hard. But more than that, there has to be support which is to be given to Brendan Rodgers. And I don't feel Leicester City's owners have given him enough for this season. There's still 9 days, 10 days left in the transfer window, and I have to say, Leicester, if they have to be back to where they are, they have to belong. I believe the manager has to be back. A 2-1 scoreline against Southampton is not acceptable, and that too at home. No. Very honestly, a bad display in the defense. This was a game for Leicester to win it. Maddison gave them the lead, but then you lose a lead so easily in 12 minutes. Cannot happen to Che Adams. Che Adams comes back in the 84th minute, 6 minutes before time, he scores a brace. That means and that too with Jamie Ward-Prowse watching through your defense. That cannot happen. Come on, man. Your defense is either sleeping or they are not good enough. And Leicester City, trust me on it, your defense right now is not good enough. They need to work hard. You're giving 1 year's extension, 2 years extension. You're giving a 1 year extension to Jamie Vardy. You may as well go out and spend more on your defense and somebody to trust, somebody where the manager can trust on, somebody they can go and fish around with, somebody who's strong. And Leicester City right now needs that. They need characters. They need characters to get them out of it. First 3 game weeks, I'm sorry, the poor performances continue, and it is a worrying situation for Leicester City. Moving from Leicester to the last game, which happened yesterday, was between Bournemouth and Arsenal. Not a lot was expected from Bournemouth, but maybe I thought that there might be certain sparks which might come out, but then it all fizzled out in the first 5 minutes. Martin Odegaard came out, Arsenal playing the Arsenal game. This is the old school Arsenal, honest. Old school Arsenal, which Arteta, the fans, and the Arsenal community, everybody wants to see. And the Arsenal owners, Kroenkes. Man, what a bloody game these guys played. from the get-go, Arsenal has scored. I've seen them do this kind of a thing earlier in the past as well, but this time around, I feel there's something different for Arsenal. 3 games, 3 wins, 9 goals scored. Martin Odegaard scored a brace yesterday in the 5th minute and the 11th minute. Then you got a new signing, Saliba, scoring in the 54th, 55th minute. That is game done and dusted. The Arsenal could have had they could have conceded, but I don't think the Bournemouth had that firepower after the 54th minute, and they are shutting teams down. The main test of character for Arsenal may happen when you got likes of City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Spurs for that matter, coming at them back to back, back to back. That is when the character testing for Arteta's team is going to happen. But right now, from the position where I am sitting and I'm looking at Arsenal, they're right there with Spurs, right there with Chelsea, right there with Arsenal, with the Liverpool, City, United, right there. We have the old Arsenal back, and I think so. The likes of the fans, the likes of my friends who are Arsenal fans, likes of KSI, I believe, who's an Arsenal fan, DT and the Arsenal fan TV, all everybody is going to be thrilled the kind of football Arsenal is playing. Since before the ending last season, they were slightly unlucky, but then they've been doing their bit. And Arsenal this time around has solidity. They've invested. They are looking sharp. Everybody is playing for each other. They're not playing individual games. I don't feel there is any rift in the team. Even if it is, Arteta is on top of it. And that is what it is. And that is what you want in a game like this or in a team like Arsenal. That support system, that thing which can move forward. So this is what we had for our weekend review. But hang on, wait a minute. We've got 4 more games for this weekend. We've got on Sundays, we've got Chelsea going to Leeds. Very interesting game. Hammers are hosting Brighton. Then we've got the Arabs playing each other. Sorry, Newcastle United versus Manchester City is the last game for Sunday, and the big boys, 2 big boys. United hosting Liverpool. A lot of turmoil happening at United, and we will all talk about it right here, right now. So for the for the first 3 games happening on Saturday, so we've got Chelsea going to Leeds. Leeds is having a resurgence after the last coach left, and they just survived relegation last season. They are slowly getting their heads up. They've lost good players. And I feel Chelsea may have an easier road ahead, even though Ellen Road is not an easy place to go to. So my feeling for Chelsea with the kind of team which they have, Chelsea may do certain chopping and changing, but the formation more or less remains the same. Cucurella will play. I believe that Ben Chilwell still is not so fit, so he'll be on the left side. We've got Maurice James. You've got who else do we have? Kai Havertz is going to be playing up front. Then you got Mount is there. So you got host of players here and there. And I believe that these guys are going to be a very solid all around, playing a 3-5-2 and a 5-3-2 while defending. And I think the Leeds will have a slightly tough time, even though they've got Harrison and everybody in place who's going to be performing. So that is what is very important for Leeds, just to make sure that these guys perform tomorrow in today's game, and make sure just if Leeds can get away with a point, it is going to be a good thing. It is going to be a brilliant thing to get away from a point after Chelsea's draw with Spurs, so they know what to do and how to attack. Going from Chelsea versus Leeds, going to London and having the West Ham playing Brighton. What a form Brighton has been in. They've been playing very well. Graham Potter and his team, and even for David Moyes and West Ham, they've been playing very well. It is going to be an end-to-end game. My feeling is that Hammers might edge it through, or maybe we might have a draw for all we know. So there's a lot of cases there that West Ham United may take the lead or take the leap, and they come out on top for over Graham Potter's Brighton and Hove Albion. But trust me, I feel that this game will be very edgy, very feisty, and it is going to be a Hammers win. I believe it is going to be a Hammers win for all we know. Going from West Ham to Brighton, we've got Newcastle versus Manchester City. I believe you all know the way Manchester City has been playing and the way Newcastle has been under the new manager, the new leadership, the new ownership. They are performing. They are slowly putting in money. One of the richest owners in the Premier League. So they are slowly and steadily putting in money in the Premier League. So in the Newcastle team, and they're shaping up. The kind of performances Newcastle has been giving in the past few weeks, in the first, at least in this season, they've been giving out brilliant performances. So it is to be seen how does Newcastle perform with Trippier at the back. The team has been performing very solid. ASM in the front, the performances have been. You've got Woods. The performance has been there, but for City, the kind of movement they have, they're very slick. They are a well-oiled machine. Whereas Newcastle are just reaching. They're still a long way. Not a long way off. They're three-quarters way there, but one quarters away. So they are there, yet they are not there. So I hope you get my point. So it it would be an easy win. I still feel it's going to be an easy win for City, and City will take the honors this time around. But very soon Newcastle may have other plans, and we might see that happening. But for now, it is City who takes over Newcastle in the Tyneside. And now for the last but not the least, we have the two big boys. We have Manchester United and Liverpool. So there's been a lot of noise and a lot of news coming out of Manchester United. Casemiro is signed. There's going to be a huge procession and huge processions for the owners to be thrown out, Glazers out. And I feel that there might be a possibility that the match may be called off or it might happen behind closed doors. We all don't know. But Eric Ten Hag, Manchester United, are now heading towards becoming an Eric Ten Hag's team, and right now it is Manchester United, very honestly speaking. And Eric Ten Hag has a lot of work cut out for this season, even though I believe a lot of fans are saying that they are not interested in anything else apart from getting the Glazers out. Even if they get a top four, they are not happy. Even if they get a trophy, they might not be happy, but they need to get the right players. They need the manager to be back. They need everything. But more than that, they want Glazers to be out of their club. And that is what is very important for the Manchester United hierarchy. Not just the hierarchy, but the fans outside, the former fans, the ex-players who have been there, everybody. So Jim Ratcliffe and a lot of people are looking at it. I still feel that if the game goes ahead, even in an empty stadium, there's going to be a huge protest happening outside the Old Trafford. I really don't know how much idea does the Glazers have, and if they do they feel that this can go forward for a long period of time? I really don't think so. And come what may, I believe that this Monday, with the kind of performance and the spirited performances United has not put, but then the kind of performances Liverpool has put, but then they've been held and all sorts of things have happened. Liverpool also has not had a very great start to this season. I feel that United, and it is purely a gut call. And it is not because I've got friends who are United fans, or it's not because of anything else, but I really feel that United can get their edge over Liverpool if they put them to the task. Else they'll be taken to town. They'll be washed. They'll be out there to the dogs. They'll be mauled, and they'll be left to die. That is what my thought is on Manchester United playing Liverpool on Monday. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned. And if you like this content, do let us know in this comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications for us to continue our work for you guys. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.